Hello and welcome to Horror and Monster Collectibles, where today I just got something awesome in from the Scream Factory. What is it? Bam! Night of the Demons, Susie and Stooge from NECA. This is a limited edition release for Scream Factory, like NECA has done before with Angela and figures for Night of the Creeps and things like that. I'm so excited about this, so let's spin it around and take a closer look at the figures. And here is Susie and Stooge out of the packaging. Now, we only get a couple accessories here. Susie has an alternate head sculpt and a little tube of lipstick, and Stooge over here has his classic pig nose. So let's first take a look at Susie and the head sculpt that she comes with, which looks really good. Paint apps on here are very nice, and I love the sculpted hair. And of course she has her lipstick that she spread all over her face once she was possessed. One thing that's limiting about hair that's sculpted like this is head movement, but there is some you can get out of here, some decent articulation. The outfit is a bit bulky, but there's a whole lot going on here for such a small figure, and I believe overall NECA has done a good job here in duplicating her outfit. There's lots of nice touches going on here. It's just a little bit bulky, but I really don't see how that could be avoided at this scale. She has standard movement for a figure, nothing great. Because she is so thin, there's not much they could do as far as double jointed elbows and things of that nature, but the movement is there. Her wrist is a little bit loose in some places. But you do have full rotation. And same thing with the other hand that's sculpted to hold the lipstick, which we'll take a look at in a minute. As far as hips, you have decent ratcheting motion and pretty good movement all the way around. The leg joints, there's not much that they can do about this. I mean, it is an action figure after all, but it is kind of unsightly, but you are able to get decent poses out of them. Come down here to her heels, very high heels. And again, this is done nicely, and you do have some movement here as far as standing her up, which can be a little bit difficult because of the platform. But overall, she's done pretty nice. Setting Susie aside for now, we're going to take a look at her alternate head sculpt, which is the open mouth. And again, includes her lipstick that she is spread all over her face. And there's good paint work here, especially like in the eyes. You can see the pupils. And the sculpted hair really has nice depth here. I'm not really sure the inclusion here. I don't really understand it. Why Susie has two head sculpts, but Stooge doesn't. And the only difference here that I can see is one is open mouth and one is closed mouth for Susie. But I do love the inclusion. I just feel like probably they could have just gotten by with just this head sculpt, but it is nice to have options. So let's go ahead and put this head sculpt on Susie. And the head just pops off via ball joint. We're going to pop this one back on here, which can be tough. Well, here we go. Get that shot in there. I don't know which one I like. Actually, like, I think I'll prefer this head sculpt on her more. And while we're finishing up Susie, let's put the lipstick in, and if I can get it in focus for you guys, here is the lipstick. What we'll do is fit this in her hand like so. There we go. Very cool. All right, now for a closer look at Stooge. And by the way, both of these figures are about 8 inches tall. And old Stooge here is a character that I just loved to hate in the movie. He was just an idiot, but you couldn't help but like him. The face sculpt here is pretty good. The paint app is very good. And even you can see it in his eyes. They are well done too. Now again, with the sculpted hair, you're kind of limited on movement until it starts to get in the way, but there still is pretty decent movement here. The body torso is padded, and he has that bulk, but I feel like he had a little bit more bulk in the belly in the movie. Again, this is an action figure, so they're doing what they can, but they did make an effort. And as far as shoulder movement, it's about standard action figure. Here they did, I feel like they did double jointed elbow, but they didn't. It's just a single joint here. And on the wrist, they do have his skull rings, which actually look really good. They did really good paint app on here. On his hand here. Come over to the other hand that had this little punk bracelet on here. I don't know about you guys, but I loved these 80s B movies. They're super cheesy and fun, and I really just enjoyed them. And I never would have thought as an adult or as a kid watching them that there would be action figures made of the characters in these movies. And like, the child in me is just thrilled and blown away that this is the reality that I live in now, where companies like NECA are doing things like this. The print work on the shirt is extremely well done. Of course, we have the Anarchy deal on his back. His acid washed blue jeans. Again, same ratcheting hips with fairly good movement. And in here is just, feels like a single joint. You know what, we can take a look though real quick. Let's see what we can see. Yeah, just single joint. Here is his boots. That offers some movement, but not a whole lot. But enough to stand the figure up well, and he does stand well, where Susie does have some problems. So here is Stooge, and then here is his pig nose accessory. I will say though that I wish that they had a strap on the pig nose so he could kind of carry it off his hand like he had in the movie, but the pig nose does fit in this hand just fine to hold it like so. Or it actually fits well on the face. Pop it up here like that. Although I can't remember, guys, if he wore the pig nose after he was possessed. I feel like he didn't, but maybe he did. But again, regardless, you can put it on here. But I kind of wish it had the little strap, because I feel like he just kind of walked around with it hanging off his hand. But there is Stooge. All right, guys, that's all there is to go over on these figures. I believe that there was 2,500 of these made, and I think that there are some still available through Scream Factory, and I would recommend running out and getting these. Once they're gone, they're gone. I love these limited releases that NECA does with Scream Factory. It's just great. NECA has just been kicking ass as a company, giving us all the figures that we had ever wanted in the horror realm, and just blowing away McFarlane, who doesn't have a chance to catch up at this point. I just don't see how Todd McFarlane is going to compete with NECA right now. I don't know what happened to the company. I know people from McFarlane moved over to NECA, and that's obvious. And McFarlane is just not really putting anything out as far as horror, which is a shame, because in the early 2000s they were killing it, in late 90s for that matter too. But again, I'm just thrilled to have this piece, and I highly recommend you guys going out and getting them. As always, feel free to leave any questions or comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. And also feel free to like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications for new videos. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.